You're in the Music Entertainment Room. Hosted by Mayor Folan Canavan.
You're welcome to the Music Entertainment Room this evening, and indeed I have a great band from Sligo in here and all around the counties. Roscommon, I believe. Where is that? Sligo? Sligo, the whole lot.
Roscommon, yeah.
County Roscommon. Well, it's nice to have a mix in a band as well. And I have Kerry Herrigy on the banjo, on the fiddle here with me, and John Dwyer on the flute as well. I believe you played the piano too, John? A little bit. And I have Kenny Donagher on the box, and indeed Fiachra Guihen, is it? Guihen. What can I say? Multi-instrumentalist, harp player, guitar player, banjo player, and a singer as well. If I've left anything out, I do apologise. The Music Entertainment Room is for entertainment for musicians like yourselves, independent musicians who we love to be seen and heard in our society, in the music industry. So you're here tonight, and indeed you have a few shows coming up. Tell me a bit about the one on the 4th of May. You said?
So, yeah, is it the 4th? The 9th?
The 9th.
Oh, the 4th, yeah. We've
yeah.
two coming up. We're busy enough. The 4th of May, we're in Drury's.
Well, that was Lakeview Lounge.
The Lakeview Lounge, or formerly, I have the wrong name. They changed the name there a while ago. And the Lakeview Lounge, we're playing there on Sunday evening, the bank holiday weekend. Around 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Oh, not too bad. You get a day's work done first.
Exactly. And
so
then you have a warm up when you start off the show. And you have a concert coming up.
Yeah, the concert then is the 9th of May. So we're in Riverstown in County Sligo in the Chock-Keole, in the Morrison Chock-Keole down there. So yeah, we played there a couple of years ago. 2 years ago? A year ago. And we're going back again, so looking forward to it now.
Yeah, well, it's you are a lovely ballad and a folk traditional band as well, and I'm sure you have some of your own original music. Are you recording with them?
Sort-ish. We're in the very early process of it, and we have a few bits laid down, and we're going to work on that. So
Great indeed.
We did a day there a while ago, and we're just trying to put a few bits together, you know yourself.
Aye, well, I'm sure you're getting into the fates and now and the festivals and all of that. That is actually where you want to read yourself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and that's happening nice for you too during the year and next year, like, so it's great to see that as well. You're bilingual as well, so you speak the Gaelic as well?
I can speak a small bit. more than me, anyway.
Well, Kenny. Tá bhéad a tain. Tá, agus tá tú casa ceoil a cúpla bliain. Ní chuir muid ísir sin. Agus
there's no age mar there.
Well, is brála an ceoil. Agus tá casa leis an seoil, agus ceapú cum sa heas a seoil de casa go dasa. Tá siad cúpla bliain ar bór inis.
Yeah, well, bhí me sé casa le Kerry ar Jepley nó sin. Agus bhí Kerry casa le John Rilla sin. Tá muid casa ceoil a chéile timpeall 3 bliain inis, I think. Customer ar dús ag banish, actually. Hosí mar just iteration bhí mar smíoh go mbeadh just teach the chéile agus bana ceola a dhéanamh.
Chud díreach?
Then rinne mar cúpla féilte, rinne mar bhí cúpla flá chun de léige agus bhí mar ag in Ireland.
Fleck on the hair.
Yeah, nor bhí mar teachtar eis den chun mar suas an Seoid.
agus fellow noch gomór bhfuil sa geol mar tan féitelig go honú le scéimce féle hon an máil go chóirtí bre mu stepan sin agus starna san air tá sé bre stepan sin agus go cinse mar sprá agus is even an ceolatá bhí héin agus a me siúráte go me ceol nuaí go goid expression agus chuine I dtíama an dat se bíanana mar se hínta ar fad. Is brá an ceolse. John Dwyer, indeed, you played the flute in the Seoid band, yes. And I believe you were playing with Kerry before that as well, so you go back a long way, really. You just really renamed the band as exactly. An Irish, as yes. Seoid, and many years of experience, of course, on the road and all of that, and it's great to see that, like, in the community as well, all the traditional folk bands, and I'm sure you're going to have some new stuff coming up soon as well, like music production would be great to see.
Kerry composes music all the time, and so does Fiachra, so we're
so you have two producers as well.
And
yeah.
I know John is doing and starting a bit as well.
Aye, well you can find Fiachra on all social media platforms, and you can also find Kerry on all social media platforms. And of course the band Seoid. Well, Kerry Herrigy, how are you?
How are you? Thank you.
Good. It's great to see that you're here in the studio here with us in the Music Entertainment Room this evening, and thank you all for coming along, and it's great to have that great connection with you. I'm a trad player myself, so I actually love the music. Where do you feel yourself going in the next few years, Kerry? Look at like we have spoken to Kenny about the Fields and the festivals and all of that. I'm sure that's what you'd all like to be doing.
It would be, Warren. Thanks for having us down here this evening.
Yes, and of course, not alone you as your songwriter, but you're also a producer, and not even last you play the fiddle and the banjo.
Yeah.
Well, are you going to do a bit of music for us? You're tuned into the Seoid band and the Music Entertainment Room, the voice in your own community for independent musicians. Here we go, folks. Light it up there. an sin ón bana ceol Seoid as sligeach agus Stephen Galore and Ceolatá Guitar. Great entertainment there and a great mix in music there is from the Seoid band in Sligo, and Seoid is in the studio with us here live this evening. Hope you all enjoyed the show at the Music and Entertainment Room. Share to your friends, all your acquaintances, all the musicians and promoters aboard as well from all the festivals. Have a look at the band Seoid. What are we going to do next?
Don't go to Finn or continue to Jigs.
Dwyer would have to crack a joke.
Not like John crack jokes.
He's very serious.
There's a comedian in every walk of life. That happens in some anybody who's just tuned in, they tuned in here at the Music Entertainment Room, and we're there with the band Seoid, indeed, and a folk trad band, and a great band, and a band for the festivals and for all the nice festivals for the trad fest as well. The trad fest is a great trad fest in Dublin, Killarney there. They would love to have the likes of E4 from Seoid, that it indeed. So I'm sure there's a few ye's tuned in there. To all the promoters as well that's tuned in, take a look at the Facebook page for the Seoid band. Well, next up is
The Clashmore set. This is
very good.
a hornpipe set.
Very
Hornpipe
nice.
rings.
These are tunes that Kerry wrote herself. Well, the first one.
First one.
What is Clashing More?
So Clashmore is the harbour out on Inishmurray Island, which
Yes.
is off the coast here of North Cyprus.
Oh, I said I would know. I know. I'm aware of it.
Inishmurray Island. So
Yeah.
my father's people came from the island, and I was on it myself as a teenager, but it's obviously uninhabited now. But very nice place, and there's a connection with the family and my father. So the first tune of this set is named after the harbour on the island, Clashmore.
Very good.
And I wrote it. And then that leads us into the well-known reel Tom Ward's Downfall, and then the second reel in the set is The Humans of Not Playing, one of my own compositions, which is focused North Cycle as well. I'm based down in Moherel.
You're very talented. You write and you
It's a
play.
tune we played on the TV as well. We did a TV spot a couple of years ago for the flat.
Well, it's a
Mulligan.
Dracula.
And yeah, and that was one of the tunes, and they used that tune I think for the promo.
Mhm.
Very good. And was that Gigi for her or who was?
That was RT.
RT. Very good. Well, maybe we should use that too as part of your promotion, you know, for all we do. You know, that would be a good idea. We have it now tonight, isn't it? ceol eile sin ó na bhana ceol seold agus go na féitiige tá breanúisteach ar glár nach. Beidir go meach se go lán buoch chud in bhana ceol seold le na féite tá teachta níos rábíle sa fi cúig agus rábíle is fi sé cháde. We were at the band showed from Sligo and indeed by an English band as well, and folk and ballad and trad and amazing material altogether, I must say. Would you like to say something about your band to everyone now, like yourselves? Like, have you anything that you'd like to actually talk about?
We could talk about John's flute then.
How bad it is.
Well, I suppose we're from, so you see, we're from Sligo originally, so,
Yes.
well, except for him. But, but
Outside.
he's part of the band.
Outside.
But I mean, Fiachra has a rich family tradition as well, so I would have played with Fiachra's uncle a long time ago, Tommy. It had a few tunes back in the day as well. And John, of course, would know, there was a man who used to play with a man called Kevin O'Brien, the late Kevin O'Brien Guitar. He was a great accordion player from Sligo. So I would have known Kevin as well. When I was growing up, he was playing as well. So he had a band called Sheebeen, and they would. And I think you stepped in there.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of playing with Sheebeen for up until Kevin's death.
Yeah.
10 years ago, and they were well known all over the country.
Oh, they would. I mean, my father would have played with Kevin, and he knew Kevin as well because he worked with him in job, so he would have known him through work. And then, of course, Kevin was a great character as well. A great man, great character. But that's where I suppose you would have played a lot of music with him, and I didn't know him that well. But we all have, I suppose, musical families. In that
That's
sense.
what I was going to talk to you about, like your background. Like yourselves, like did you have it at home? Like, would your own parents be playing music and singing and producing and songwriting and all of that?
My grandmother was a great accordion player from just outside Gertrude, and she would have been a big influence on me, bringing me to all the sessions with her down the years. So that's where I learned most of my music.
Yeah, that's where it generated from. John, that's. And what about you?
My father was a traditional music player, and my mother was a music teacher. So we had a sort of she played the piano and he played the harmonica and stuff like that. So, but she passed away when she was quite young. But he would have played on until he died a couple of years ago. Yeah, she got dementia. But in the end, he was actually still able to play the music. It was the last thing that left him. And he used to play the fiddle and the harmonica. So I was brought up with all of that, and the family would have played as well. We would have played gigs and festivals and flags and that sort of thing. So I suppose, and my grandfather would have played music as well over in America, and he was over there in the 20s, and he played with James Morrison and people like that over there. And then he came back home. I know circumstances he left America and came back. And then he played an awful lot around Sligo, and he was a fiddle player. So he was very friendly with a guy called Josie McDermott. A lot of people will be familiar with Josie McDermott.
Of course.
And Josie himself used to they'd swap tunes and be in each other's houses and stuff like that. So they used to ramble in and out. And my father used to bring Josie around on the motorbike because Josie had very bad eyesight, and he'd bring him to the flats and things like that. And Josie was a great singer and composer, and he played the saxophone and the flute. The saxophone was the thing that I remember him playing the saxophone. Because I saw Seamus O'Donnell there recently up in playing the saxophone. And I hadn't heard saxophone in a while because he's the brother of Colin O'Donnell, the singer. And raconteur, I suppose you might call him. But Seamus is a good singer as well. So he'd be someone, it was unusual to see a saxophone in Irish music, I suppose. But I suppose they had Kerry bands, and the Kerry bands did kind of ballads and stuff like that.
Exactly, and it's interesting how everybody actually grows into it and you grow up with it, and I think that influences all of us, like in music, even our interests as well. You don't have to play it to be interested, and I think it's important to keep the traditional folk ballad music alive, because a lot of other types of music now is taking over a lot, and it's nice to see differentiation. That's why I love the differentiation as well. So, Fiachra, what dragged you into the music? And how did you begin to be a multi-instrumentalist and a singer?
Oh, I don't know. We're kind of steeped in music around this part of the country. All around Roscommon, Leitrim, and Sligo. And my grandfather played music and my uncle, and I would have always heard the music on like.
Because it was going to in your house,
yeah. It was going in the house, and there was tapes on the radio, and we used to go to lessons in Whistle, starting off. In school, and with a tutor, local tutor, and then I started the flute then, and then I was a bit older and I started the harp.
That is
And
very
Clorsham,
talent,
yeah.
that's great. And Clorsham, that's some talent, like to be able to play a lot of instruments. You play the guitar as well.
A small bit, yeah. But a lot of music in the area, I suppose, and it's just kind of passed down, and we're kind
Exactly.
of carrying it on and enjoying it and playing around the place, you know. So
And do you actually sing in Irish?
I don't really know.
No, in English.
I don't really sing at all, to be honest. I
Well,
have one or two, and
who is
that's
the
it.
singer? I believe I'm going to turn to Kerry.
Yeah.
Kerry.
Kerry's great.
There's no there.
In the shower.
How did you get into it, Kerry, yourself years ago?
I suppose, as you can tell from my accent, I didn't grow up in Sligo. I grew up in Luton in England, and was born out of there. My brother is a musician as well, but my father and my mother had just a big interest in music and dancing, and we were introduced at an early age, and just grew from there. And I suppose in my early years I started off playing the whistle like many musicians do, and progressed on to the mandolin and banjo. And then we were lucky in that we had sometimes here in Sligo,
In Ireland, yes.
in Ireland,
Most where it all happens.
where it all happened. And whilst I learned a lot of my early music from obviously teachers in the UK, as we got older then and went through the teenage years, we were competing here in the competitions and
Exactly.
the different things that
The
were
fish
taking
going
place.
probably and
Yeah.
flag roads and all
Yeah, so
that.
that's my story.
What inspired you to write music?
I don't know, it's something, myself and Kenny were recorded an album, I think it's 10 years now, this year.
10-year anniversary.
10-year anniversary.
Oh,
This
Special
is-
edition.
That's a good gift. That's a good gift, yes.
So we were doing
John was on
that.
that.
John was a part of that.
About 10 years ago.
It was 10 years ago.
I didn't make it.
You didn't
It
make the
was
cut.
in your
No.
90s.
No.
And Kerry, actually, have you written any songs?
No, I haven't written any
You write
songs,
tunes.
but,
You've written music for songs, though.
yeah, there was one special piece that I wrote a few years ago
About a storm.
about a storm. Again, it was local to North Sligo. I wrote an air.
Sligo drifted away. The skies.
We don't get many storms.
Storms never last.
A very good friend of mine, Maureen Mannion, she's a singer and writes lots of material.
That's right.
She put some lyrics to the song. And the name of the song was Kringle's Wind, so it was basically about the storm way back in the 1800s. So I know this story at all, you never asked me. And it was just basically telling the story of the storm and the ship and how it failed to make it
You learn something new every day. And did you? Well, I'm sorry to say, Kerry, but you know you're blessed amongst them. Like, are they blessed amongst you? Because I'd say without you they'd be giggling and all. They wouldn't be giggling all the time.
I
Well,
think so.
Well, it just shows that you're good home as well, like, and people like to see a group that has a great vibrance and great personality, and messers as well. It shouldn't be all serious, especially in the type of music that you play.
You have to enjoy it.
You have to enjoy what you do. Well, Anthony, are you going to play a bit of the harp for us now,
I think so,
Fiachra?
If he's able.
But you can see like how our rehearsals can descend into chaos.
You don't get
So
much
the
done.
rehearsal
You don't get
the
much
rehearsal
done.
gets done on the go. When you play, I would imagine. A little bit of a warm up in the way you go because you've got good,
John was playing. He was warming up the flute when I was driving in the car.
Oh, that's the road trip.
And on the way down, and we were stopped in Sligo with traffic lights, and there was people looking into the cars and they put down the windows to hear it.
Music up the road. Road traffic. Oh, from Sligo to Leitrim, as they say, anyway.
We don't know.
We tried Tins Lane.
Yeah, Tinsley.
If you can compose this piece now.
This is a real serious
This is really serious.
slow
now.
piece.
No, it's not.
You were commissioned for it.
Yeah, it was a commission from the John McKenna Society. The early John McKenna.
Yes.
Yeah, so the society or the committee got a few people to write music, so I was one of them, and it wrote kind of about the scenery in sort of North Roscommon and Leitrim and around Loch Allen, that sort of area. Give it a go.
I'm just going to suggest one thing to you. You know what you should do, and I'm not telling you what to do in the music, but you should do sometimes. Kerry, you're very professional at TikTok, like. So bring the boys on tour with you, out in the rocks and out to the beaches and all of that, and do a session. Like, I mean, for example, you have a lovely prom in Sligo, and I think that you should use that for some of your videos as well, because Strand Hill in Sligo, if you went out there on a summer's evening, and it's flooded with people and caravans and everybody parking there, holiday makers, and you say to them, listen, we're going to give you a bit of music, you know what I mean, and just give them the name of the band.
Draw a crowd,
Yeah, you draw a crowd in yourselves, and I would suggest that,
Like
you know what Sligo was missing, and I would just say one thing to you, it's for the banjo, and I spoke to Kerry about this previously. There is a festival that you could actually organise in Strand Hill on the prom there, and actually have it within all the pubs there. You know what I mean? Do a 2-day first for the first year, and then continue the second year. But you cannot really, you need to call it, probably the Seoid Festival would be a good name, because you're on, Seoid is sails, and you're on the ocean. And it would make a lot of sense. So I think that would go down immensely. I think that would be absolutely electric. And get a few more bands like yourselves would be, and I'm telling you, it will be one good festival. And I did speak with you, Kerry, about this, and I think that is one of your lines of interest. Exactly.
Big marquee.
A big marquee there, yes, indeed. Speak to Sligo County Council.
Yeah.
Right, are we going to hit the road then?
Hit the road.
fad agus ar a gláiseach an sin agus ar an muscaceáil ar an flute Fiddle hór agus ar an bhailín agus ceolbrán sin ó ban hiú Seoid. Oh, well, isn't it Casa Oram? Is anybody going to sing the song?
If you ask them nicely, you might not.
Yes,
Next time.
Come on.
No,
Special
no.
request for you.
Yeah, come on. One song.
Keep going with the rest of the
One song would be lovely for
One
us.
song we do for one song.
Come on.
No.
Sligo, and great selection this evening here in the Music and Entertainment Room, and it's great to have you here in the studio. What a fantastic performance as well, and fantastic material, and very lively indeed, like vibrant and cool over and chin. Casa Ratti, Maria's what you're going to model. Are you going to finish up with a few, or?
I'm going to do a nice one, then bring something fast then. He's a lovely soul piece.
Okay,
Yeah.
we might do a tune that I got from Seamus O'Donnell. Kenny was talking about him earlier on. He plays with the band called At the Racket, and it gives this air. It's called With a Love This Trip.
Very nice indeed. And band Seoid, Seoid band folks. I hope he's all enjoying the folk traditional track show here tonight at the Music and Entertainment Room.
Okay.
and the harp there, and indeed, what a lovely piece it is, indeed,
That was
absolutely.
composed by
Street country.
Steve Cooney, I know, Steve Cooney.
Used to play with Stockton's wing.
He was indeed. Right, so we're going to finish up with one more. One for the road, Donagher Box.
My final song. My final.
Well, the show band is finishing it off tonight here at the Music and Entertainment Room. It was absolutely great to have these up here this evening from Sligo, a local Sligo band, trad, folks, and indeed, great indeed. Thanks very much, folks, for coming in tonight, the show band, and it's great having you here.
Thanks very much. Lovely room, beautiful room.
Oh, no, thank you, great
Great
sound.
setup.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, that's what we're here for, and it's not won't be the last time. It's not. And here again. Song of all Seoid McClone, Music and Entertainment Room, for myself, more Nicholan and the Seoid band.
So,
Well, that's the end of our show tonight here at the Music and Entertainment Room. Hope we all enjoyed the show. And we are with the Seoid band. Gramina Mahabi, as if we're staff enough to see on Shula Cole in Shaw, Lish and One Cole Seoid. So I'm Hammond, I've spent the rush.
You've been watching the Music Entertainment Room. Please join us again next time.